Hi, welcome. Hopefully your first couple of days of online learning have been okay. You've been a few lessons in, so hopefully doing Teams is not stressing you out too much. Hey, let's get it and finalize our student research projects. Hey, so what I'm going to do today, hello Jadzia, what I'm going to do today, one, I'm going to record this, so if you need anything after this, you can go back and watch it again. But I'll do a quick rundown of how to use this poster. So make sure you've listened to that audio from that lesson. And as I said, we can't be together to submit that poster, and many of you can't come into school to pick up that poster either. So instead, we've had to do the next best thing, which is a poster through kind of an online version. So I'm just going to share my screen and I'll show you what you're going to be doing. So first, if you see that area now, someone just, oh, yep, good. That is your first port of call today. So this is a downloaded file, Word document file. If you can just go through, and if you upsize, you're just going to tick or not those areas that you've completed. And if you've ticked that box, then obviously you don't need to fill this area in. But if you haven't ticked the box, so yeah, I've done my topic, I've done my title, I've done my background research, I've done my intro, I've done my aim, job on me. I've done that. I haven't done a risk assessment. Oh, gee, you better do that. I've done materials, done method. No, I haven't done all the others. Oh no, yes, I have. I've done a results table, good on me. And I've done my variables. All the others, let's say risk assessment, we have to put the day in here. So it might be, I need to get this done today. So that's the thing I'll do today. This is also what I'll do today. So that'll be, copy and paste Wednesday, and then that's week 1, and then week 1, and then just go through and fill the rest of those in. Obviously, there's been a change from last year. Now it's after your reference list, you're going to create a digital poster. So now if I go back, and I'll show you the next thing that you're going to download. Here we go. Hi there again. I'll show you this thing. So now that you should be able to download this poster template. And this is a single PowerPoint slide. Don't add any more slides to this. This is everything and only what you need. And as you can see, you can zoom in, and just like you do with a PowerPoint, you can copy and paste something into that information, type into it, etc. You can change anything you like in order to put all your information into that style of poster. So, and even the background, all these, that background colors, etc., all of that can change. So use that to the best of your ability, and then you're going to save this. So if I go up here, I'm going to just go save as. When you finish the whole thing, where it says here file format, when you're ready to submit your poster in week 3 or before, so Wednesday week 3 when it's due, instead of doing it as a PowerPoint, you're going to go on and save it as, and then you're just going to save it as a PDF instead, so that then it'll be a nice, really good image of what you're talking about. And then when I get it, and you're going to submit that on a due work in a due work area that I've already set up for you, then it'll come to me without any changes to it. If people send me the PowerPoint file, sometimes things can move around and look very different to the way you think it looks on your computer, just because of the way PowerPoint is on different computers. So that's why I want you to save it as a PDF file and submit the PDF file instead of the PowerPoint document. So don't be one of those people who submits the PowerPoint because it'll look very weird and strange. Okay, the only other thing, if I show you now some examples. So here's some examples. Number one, so this is using the first one. I'll just flick things away. So as you can see here, it's using the similar colors that what you've seen in the one I've just shown you. Now, the headings obviously are a bit different. You can add some additions onto the side of those headings. And then, as you can see, there's no need for an abstract. So even though it says abstract here, I've changed your template around so that it's only the headings that you need. And then you're going to add the information in the text here. Can you see how, the most important thing is, can you see how you can add graphs and tables in and images in as well? All right, so that's super important that you do that because it makes the poster come alive. Like posters are meant to be visual representations of a complex idea. So please add those in. Now, big question is, how do you add tables and graphs in? If you do that just straight from the document, then it gets a bit confusing. So again, I would suggest if you're using, if you're trying to, everyone will try to import a graph or a table and some images in here. Then for your graphs, you're either going to save the graph as a PDF file or you're going to screenshot your graph and your table and then add that screenshot to here. And I'll quickly show you how to do that. Oh, actually, what I might do first is show you one more example. Very similar, but a little bit different. So here's another example, just a different style and format, different colors, etc. The information's all the exact same, but they've just changed the styling around a little bit as well. So all of that is perfectly fine, but obviously you're going to change and add in your information instead. Okay, so how do we add tables and graphs easily so it actually makes sense? So if I get up let's do that. So now on your screen, you should be able to see an example of my tables, and I've made a pretty graph here. So I can click on that graph, and if I do Shift Command 4, I should be able to now screenshot just that. So for me on a Mac, it's Shift Command 4, and it grabs this little interesting plus or minus icon, and then I can click on that, and then I have a nice image of that screenshot on my desktop that I can then copy and paste into there. So I can then just drag that image on top of my PowerPoint and place it around my text. All right, I'll just double check that's all I wanted to show you today. And then I'll open it up for any questions. That, and that. Great one. All right. So now it's all in the next 2 weeks. Every lesson, this is what we're going to be doing, just quickly meeting on Teams. And if you have any questions, then you can ask it on Teams. But if not, then we'll quickly, in 5 or so minutes in each and every lesson, we'll quickly get off from Teams, and you can continue on with your depth study. All right, so I'm going to stay on for a few minutes now. If you have any questions, please ask them now. There's never a dumb question. All right, especially with such things changing quite a lot. Just make sure you ask those questions now. If you go, oh, I don't know if this is going to happen or not, it's better to ask now. So feel free to totally all unmute if you want to and ask a question. Go, Caitlin.
So just wondering, let's just say in half an hour or so, if someone still has a question, will you be there to help them, like answer the question?
Good question. So I'm happy if two of you have a question. If there's only one person, then we have to do it via email. But if there's a couple of people, then we can come back onto Teams, and I can set up a Teams meeting for that. Absolutely. It's a lot. I know it's a lot quicker to do it just by talking. So that's fine. But generally speaking, it'll be have some questions ready and raring to go right at the start of each lesson, just because I can't stay on Teams, for an hour or so just waiting. So it's, but yes, if there's a few people who want to ask a question, then I'm happy if you just quickly send me an email and say, hey, can we meet on Teams? If you just want to chat about something, happy to do that. Good question.
When is the draft submission due?
Great question. So drafts are always, for every assessment task, always due 1 week or more before. So seeing this is due Wednesday week 3, then your draft has to be in to me Wednesday week 2. All right. And I don't, some people go, oh, sir, do I need like the whole thing done? Well, it'd be good to have the whole thing done, but if you don't, even a portion of it would be good, wouldn't it? So it's always good to get feedback because, hey, I'm going to mark it and grade it. So it's good to give me something so that I can give you feedback on. So anything is better than nothing. And I'll set up I might actually, instead, I'll set up a due work just to say drafts, and then you can submit your drafts there, and then I'll have a look at it. Good question, Georgina. Did you want to do a supplementary question, Georgina?
No.
Beautiful. No worries. Love the flower icon. It's fantastic.
Sir?
Yeah.
What would you like us to talk about in our discussions?
Oh, good question. So can anyone answer that for Ashley? Where does she go to find out what goes in a discussion? Can anyone tell her? Oh, silence.
Maybe in the to-do list, there is like a set of things to include in it.
Oh, Millie, close. So
The video,
close.
the video you put up.
Was that you, Caitlin Bailey?
Yeah.
20 gold stars. So
Yay!
20 gold stars. If I could, oh look, I've gotten a few actually I've got a few bitmojis that I can send to people with my silly face on it. So I might do that for you, Caitlin, because that was a great answer. So everything, if you look in our lesson plan today, you'll see, Ashley and everybody else, you'll see that I've made a YouTube video for every part of your report. So I've made a YouTube video for a discussion and what you put in discussion. For an introduction, I've made a whole separate video on what you do for an introduction, for every part of it. All right, except this one here, and I'll use this video now to set up a video on how to make a digital, or how to use a digital template to make up a poster. So everything else there, it should be there in your lesson outline for today's lesson, and I'll keep on putting those video links up, so if people kind of forget where they are, you'll still have access each and every day to those videos. Does that help, Ashley? Were you able to, if you go on to See Hub, our lesson, hopefully you'll be able to see those links next to the discussion heading. Can you just check for me now, Ashley, that you can see that?
Yeah, they're there, sir.
Awesome. Lovely. All right. Great answer, Caitlin. Can anyone else want to ask a really good question? I'm after silly questions as well, but you know. Oh. So Jadzia, good question. That really depends on your. Hello, Claire. Welcome, Claire. How do we catch up if we're behind because of the lockdown? Well, hopefully you won't be too far behind because the lockdown was pretty much only during the holidays. So hopefully the holidays, I don't expect you to have done any work. So this is good because now you've got 2.5 weeks, Jadzia, in order to get it all done. All right. But again, fill in that list, please, and submit that today, which is the first thing in the lesson, so that I can see where you're at. All right, Jadzia. Is there any? Do you want to kind of unpack that a little bit, Jadzia, or does that answer a little bit of your question? Jadzia, unmute. Jadzia. Jadzia is still muted. Jadzia, if your mic isn't working, just let me know. All right, everybody. Hopefully that's helped. Please, I will stay online for a little while longer to answer any of your questions if you have them. If not, go and head on and do your results and fill in that checklist and submit that checklist today, please. All right. For everyone else who just came, I have set up. I've done a video for this lesson, this intro. So I'll just do that now. All right. So, but if you'd like to stay on,